Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Truth Steels, man, with the Truth Serum podcast. How everybody doing tonight? Oh yeah, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. Oh yeah. I know I ain't been around in the last couple of weeks, man, because I had to take care of some business, but I'm back with it. I want you guys to get up to speed with my other episodes as well. Yeah, I had a lot to disseminate to the people in those last few episodes, man. I've been getting rave reviews from people about it. Some good emails. Also, I want to let you guys know, comment, like, and subscribe. Oh yeah, let me know how you feel, man. Good, bad, or indifferent. Let me know how it is. I want to speak to the people. I want to hear from the people. I want everybody to know that. I want everybody to let me know what they feel on the topics that we discuss here on the Truth Serum podcast. There's a lot that we got to go into tonight, man. We got the Democratic and the Republican conventions that just popped up a couple days ago. A lot of people have been talking about that. We got some other fun topics, NBA topics. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but we got some serious topics that we need to discuss tonight. But the topic tonight, man, that I really want to focus on is the topic of low frequency level people. Oh, yes. Low frequency level people. If you remember the last episode that I had was speaking to a lot of the young niggas out there, man. A lot of young homies out there that needed that guidance, that need that affirmation to push forward, to pull forward. And I wanted to talk to them because, specifically to them, because I want to make sure that the energy that they're operating on is at a high level, high frequency level. So that the people that come into their lives, the people that they talk to, the people they converse with, hang out with, that those people know and those people feel like they can count on you. They can depend on you, and you can depend on them. But that you are out there spreading great messages and great affirmations. That you're not just adding to people's misery. And we all know those people that want to add to other people's misery. And what that does to, the mind, and what it does to the body, the soul. Now, as the Democratic convention happened, I don't know, it was like a week ago probably by now. And there was a lot of caping to the black community, a lot of them, trying to jump in and out or tightrope that line in the black community. And we know the Democrats have been up to that for years, man. They've been doing that for years. As we already know what the Republicans about, a bunch of racist assholes and white supremacists that they are. There is no difference with the Democratic Party. They're the same white supremacist, racist assholes. I always say that voting, whether for these two candidates, whether you're with Donald Trump, whether you're thinking about Biden and Kamala, regardless of either one, it's like voting Coke or Pepsi. It's all a point of preference as far as taste. But it's the same goddamn thing. Same cola. Same thing that can kill you. It's not about whether it's going to kill you slowly or one is going to kill you fastly. It's the same goddamn thing. One is just offering something on the table of mentioning you as opposed to the other just totally ignoring you altogether because they hate your guts. But make no mistake, the other one hates your guts too. The worst kind of white person is the liberal. Because the white liberal out there, man, he acts as if he means well. He acts as if he can get along and go along within the black community. But really, he's setting up laws. He's doing things to try to undermine the black community and destroy black society. Joe Biden is that kind of liberal, democratic shield, if you will. As you already know about the Jacob Blake situation, my condolences and my prayers go out to his family and himself. My man has survived 7 shots to the back, though I believe he is paralyzed. So shouts out to that brother, and I hope he, by the grace of God, could ever walk again through the grace of therapy and everything else, through the grace of the gods. He recovers mentally as well as physically. But what I will say is that these type of things will continue to happen. They will continue to happen in our community. As I said before, we are in a race war. We are in a race war. White supremacy is getting very, very desperate. And it's been desperate for a very long time, but it's getting even more desperate. And like I said, these things will continue to happen because we have politicians that are scared to confront, or they don't care to confront white supremacy. We have white people, whether friends, family, co-workers, bosses, employers, that are eating so well off of white supremacy that they wouldn't dare go against it. They wouldn't dare confront it. And that is the problem, people. That is the problem, ladies and gentlemen, that we have people that are pussy, that they know that the wrong is out there and they won't do anything about it. They won't confront it. They won't do anything. They will just succumb to it. And when that happens, we are succumbing to it. And that is a big, big, big problem with black people. Because I sat up there and as I saw certain things, I didn't watch the whole thing of the Democratic Convention, but I watched certain parts and pieces to put together what the enemy is thinking about and what the enemy is saying, what they are disseminating to the people. And when I see what they're saying and I see what they're doing, it's all mental confusion. It's meant to put you in purgatory mentally. They have no plans of replacing the white supremacist system with justice. They have no plans of destroying the white supremacist system and replacing it with justice whatsoever. They're still operating under the benign and neglect law. They still have yet to define what plans they have for the black community exclusively. And what I say to people, man, whether I know you guys come from all different backgrounds, races, religions, and creeds. Well, I would say races, but I would say religions and creeds, different viewpoints. What I say is, you have the God-given right, black people, to not vote for your own demise. I'll say that again. You have the God-given right, black people, to not vote for your own demise. Just because a candidate says, hey, this guy is saying things that are disparaging to you, you should vote for me because I won't do it, does not mean that you should vote for him. These are two of the same people. Yes, Joe Biden and Donald Trump are no different. One served under Obama's administration, one didn't. One hated Obama. But the thing about Donald Trump is, and I'm not comparing him, I'm not speaking up for him because I don't give two shits about him at all. He's a white supremacist cocksucker, and I don't care about him at all. But what I will say is, with his organization, this man bullies his way around town. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with the things he say, because a lot of the things he say is a bunch of nonsense. But what I will say is this man knows how to bully his way around people. And we know what we're getting with the Republicans. We know what we're getting with the white supremacist Republicans. We know what that is, black people. We've seen it. Whether it be Hoover, Reagan, whether it be uh, Tricky Dick Nixon, regardless of who it is, Bush. We know what that is. That is outward racism. I like my racism outward, so I know where you stand, because you'll know where I stand. But see, when it's covert, when you got somebody stringing you along, confusing you, making programs that are supposed to be for you, but it's for minorities, supposed to be for people of color instead of your own self, instead of exclusively for the black community. The only community that are the actual builders of this community, of this nation, the only creators of this nation, the ones that have built this nation to the power that it is today, and we've done it for free. We've done it under duress. We've done it under hell, basically. When we're not getting our own reparations, we're not getting justice. But what we are getting is race soldiers acting as police officers, acting with impunity, or killing us with impunity, arresting us with impunity, unfairly and unjustly. And you have two candidates that are vying for our affections to be elected, not say anything on that, not even give forth an avid plan for that. That should let you know all you need to know, black people. We have no friends. Black people, we have no friends. We have no friends. We have no allies. That black and brown man that you speak of doesn't exist. These brown people are you. So when you call yourself black or brown, you're just describing yourself. You might as well just call yourself black, because there are no brown people. The Mexican doesn't consider himself a brown person. The Indian man doesn't consider himself a brown person. It's only black people. And that's it. So that is another trick bag. That's something else that, another additive they put together so that they don't have to actually acknowledge the black people of America. So that they don't have to come to the table and actually pay for the amount of murder and genocide and disrespect and disregard for the true citizens of this nation. And it's sad, man. It's unfortunate that, things have come to this. But I see a lot of brothers are awakening. I see a lot of brothers coming together. I see a lot of brothers out here really understanding what it is to be a black man. Really, really understanding what it is. Understanding strength in numbers. But we can't be out here complaining about shit. Those race soldiers that shot Jacob Blake, they did what they were supposed to do. They're race soldiers. They're white supremacists. They hide behind badges. They did what they were supposed to do. Because they came into the situation ready to kill. You have to understand that white supremacy is about killing innocent people. Innocent black people. You see, they know that they can't get to the rough and tumble. They can't get to the strong black men because they're scared of those men. They're very scared. They're very fearful. They realize, hey, this motherfucker might come into my house and destroy my whole family. So they won't deal with the strong, rough and tumble. They're not going to deal with that. Niggas like me. Niggas like a couple other dudes. I won't even mention on here. They know that they can't get to us that way. But what they do is murder innocent people and children. Innocent black people and children. It could be women. It could be men. It could be children. And they go about doing these things because it's sweet to them. white supremacy trying to destroy the black community is sweet to them. The black man is conservative by nature. We want everything that everyone else wants: food, clothes, and shelter, a great job to afford, certain luxuries in life that others may have. We want to protect, we want to love, we want to care for our children, we want to provide for our children. At the root of it, that's what we want. And we have people that are threatening the very root of what we want. Jacob Blake had 3 sons, I believe. And make no mistake about it, they did everything there was no mistakes made. So make no mistake about it, there were no mistakes made. They did what they wanted to do, but they couldn't kill him. That should tell you a lot, people. I keep telling you young black men out here, man, you got to stay prepared. No more time for games. Black women too. You have to stay prepared. Don't go through this life thinking that you don't have to protect yourself and protect your family, because you do. In fact, it is imperative that you do. It is totally, totally irresponsible that you don't. And like I said, there are strength in numbers, so it's time for black men to rise up, man. It's time for black men to come together. Yeah, I'm on that. And I know there's people out there that say, oh, we don't always have to come together. All of us are not one monolithic people. And we always want to throw that term around, monolithic, and skew what being monolithic actually means in regards to us. But the simple fact of the matter is, white supremacy is not monolithic. Yet, white supremacy has a code. White supremacy has a code. And black people, we need a code. Now, what does that code look like? It is something that we should all know, we should all revere, we should all take heed to. It's something that we should all know, all of us. Regardless of wherever we are, whatever we're into, it is a code that we live by. There's no exact or enacted leader for this code. The code is the leadership. And you have to stay on that code regardless. We can't keep going out here singularly thinking that everything is going to be fine. The moment you step out your door, black man, you could be a target. You are a potential target. Not you can, you are a potential target. Get that through your head. The quicker you get that through your head, the better you'll be. If you neglect this, it will be at your own demise. No, what do I mean? Do you have to walk around everywhere you go worried, scared, or in fear? No. I'm not talking about being in fear about shit. I'm not talking about being scared about anything. I'm talking about you being aware. That's right, being aware of your surroundings, about what you do, where you are, who you're with, what is going on. Always be aware. Stop thinking that no one is looking at you. Pay fucking attention. pay attention to everyone. But that's what I wanted to talk to you about. These candidates, they don't give two shits about you. Black people, black men, they don't give two shits about you. So you have to give more than a shit about yourself. You got to make sure that you and yours are taken care of. Now is not the time to get pussy. Now is not the time to get scared. Now is not the time to go into your shell. Now is a time for preparation. Now is a time to lead and protect. But you gotta you guys gotta, understand what it is that we need in our community. And that is a code. So I always said this. I believe I said this in the first, maybe not in the first episode, but possibly in the last episode that I did that you guys checked out, where I said the biggest gift the black man can give to society or give to the community, give to the black community, the biggest gift that the black man can give to the black community is starting, building, and raising a family. Say what? I'm gonna say that again. Turn my shit up. I said the biggest thing that the black man can give to the black community, the biggest gift that the black man can give to the black community is starting, building, and raising a family. I'm gonna say that for a third time. What? Turn me down this time. I said the biggest gift that the black man can give to his community, to the black community, is starting, building, and raising a family. I stand behind that. You have to teach your sons and your daughters. We have to build up our warrior class. Because what's it to have reparations and land and commerce and trade lines and everything like that and different things that are helping our community if we can't protect it? We're going to run into another Rosewood situation, another Black Wall Street situation, another Devil's Punch Bowl situation. We're going to run into these situations every fucking time because we need to protect our people. It is imperative that you protect your family at all times, black man. Give them the tools. Give them what they need. You see, these candidates out here, all they're letting you know quietly is that they don't give two shits about you. They don't give a fuck about what your family is going through. They don't give a fuck about what you're trying to do. They don't give a fuck about anything but business, but commerce, my nigga. That's all they care about. This is not any country. The United States is not a fucking country. The United States is a business. Get this through your thick ass head. The United States is not a country. It is a business. And everything they do is all for the sake of business. The Democrats, they cape for the lobbyists. The lobbyists cape for the Democrats. You know why? Because they put their money into this fucking candidate. They make sure they endorse this candidate with their money. Lobbyists do that. Who are the lobbyists? Jail programs, the penitentiary complex, industrial complex, I should say. It could be any place of business that want laws formed in their favor. Republicans too. The one thing about Trump that people actually put in his favor is that he paid. He's not paid off by lobbyists. Yeah, he has white supremacist supporters and people that donate money. I'm not talking about people that donate money because he can, take your money and not give a fuck about what laws you want in place and what you feel. You're doing that strictly off of how he makes you feel when you're donating money to him. But he pays his own way. He does not cape to the lobbyists. He is not a sock puppet to the lobbyists. That is why he says the shit that he says. Whether you think of it ignorant or not. Black people, we've dealt with these type of dudes before. So having him back in office is not going to mean anything. Clearly, this epidemic, this social unrest, this white supremacy desperation is a clear indication that he is rendered powerless. He has no answers. Regardless if he's in office or Biden is in office, Kamala or whoever else, they have no answers. So why are we fucking voting for them? Why? They're not going to help us black people. And you see, there's a lot of black people, there's a lot of old black people out there, very old, and they're just voting off tradition. They're just voting because they think that they should just pick a candidate and someone that is just decent folk in their eyes. They'll just pick them, and that right there is just showing you the slave mentality. There's a lot of slave mentality. There's a lot of people from the baby boom generation, black people from that baby boom generation that just they maintain a slave type of culture in black society. If you notice, there's very few black riders at that age, in that baby boomer generation. It's very few. It's a lot of get along, go along. And why is that? The fight has been beaten out of them. That's right. The fight has been beaten out of them. They have no more fight left. They've been beaten, hoses stuck on them. Dogs sicked on them, marches. Some of them ain't even go through that shit. But let them tell it. All of them did. all of them went through it in some kind of way, as far as marches and things with King and all that kind of shit. But the fact of the matter is this: the fight has been beaten out of them. So basically everything they do is off of tradition. A lot of older black people have this thing where they feel like the ancestors fought and died for us to vote. That's the thing. And what you'll come to find out is our ancestors didn't die for us to vote or fight for us to vote. They fought for us to have the freedom of choice. The freedom to choose. So if something wasn't for you, it wasn't for you. You didn't feel pressured. You didn't feel like, oh, I have to get this right. I have to vote for somebody, either A or B. I have to vote for them. Regardless of what basis they stand on, regardless of what laws they put out there, regardless of what they actually mean and what they actually are about. Whoever's the more decent candidate. And I think that's the problem in our society, is that in black society, is that we are doing things strictly out of conforming. We want to get along and go along. We don't want to stir up any problems. We don't want any trouble. You know, you can kill us every once in a while, and some might uproar, but most of us will wonder why you're rioting. Why are they rioting? Why are they destroying their neighborhoods? And that's the fucking problem. Because we have people out here, our own people, that are rioting against our own causes. They're jealous, if you will, if you want to say that. But I don't want to get into why. I want to tell you that they're doing it. Because getting into why just conflates the issue. We need to talk about what we need to do as the young black people to uphold this mantle and take it to the next level and eradicating white supremacy. And if we gotta destroy this white supremacist government system of Republican Democratic candidating, let's do it. Don't show up to these fucking polls. Don't show up to vote. Don't vote for your own demise. Don't feel pressured by any of these candidates because they're preaching the same garbage. They're saying the same nonsense over and over and over. And the only good thing they can do is pull out some hot sauce out of their purse or say that they're down with Tupac and Snoop and that they smoked weed. Basically, a bunch of racist, stereotypical bullshit that they spew on black people to pander. But it means nothing. It means nothing, black people. They can have John Legend. They can have Common. They can have whoever the fuck they want to have out there, front row and center, singing all the songs they want to sing. We're not going to be moved by that. We're going to fight that. We're going to fight this white supremacist system till the war is won. Because black people, one thing has remained constant. One thing has remained firm is that we are people of resilience. There is no destroying us. In fact, any white supremacist out there thinking that you can destroy black people, understand that you are destroying yourself. I'm going to say that again, man. Any white supremacists out there thinking that you can destroy black people or thinking that you want to destroy black people, you are destroying yourself. That's right. Because we are the leaders and teachers of this nation. We are the leaders and teachers of the world. Black women birthed this earth. So black women can take it out. Say what? Black women birthed this earth. So black woman can take it out. That's right. And that leads me to my next topic about something short I want to touch on. I ain't really into comings and goings of motherfuckers and stuff like that. I don't really do all of that. But everybody unless you've been under a rock, you've been knowing about Tory Lanez and the Megan Thee Stallion situation. let it be known that I stand with Megan on this. Any righteous brother would. Now, I don't get into the entertainment factor of it all. I don't get into her as an entertainer. I'm not into her music. But that is a black woman. And you have some clown Canadian coon, 5'2" munchkin, shooting a black woman in the foot. Shooting her. Now, I don't know what the confrontation was about. I don't know what happened. I don't know what led, or the arguments or whatever led to the situation, but the woman has come out. Megan has come out and said that Tory Lanez is the de facto shooter that she is the victim of. And that leads me to low frequency people. And when I talk about low frequency people, it's about you hanging with low frequency people. Now, does that mean that, Megan deserves to get shot because she was hanging around a low frequency person? No, not at all. Absolutely not. But what that means is you have to understand people's motives and thoughts. You have to keep your eyes open. You cannot trust your surroundings. You have to be cautious at all times, black woman. You have to be cautious of the energy that you give off. You have to be cautious of who you let in your circle. You have to be cautious of who is around you. What are they leading? What are they giving to you? Giving unto you as far as energy. Is it negative? Because if it's negative, then they are going to try to destroy you, regardless if it's directly or indirectly. I read a study a couple years back in a magazine. I can't remember the magazine off the top of my head, but it was speaking to people that are in areas of conflict having elevated levels of anxiety. And what it talked about was somebody that witnessed an argument or witnessed a fight and was watching it live and seeing it, having spiked up elevated levels of anxiety within themselves. Blood pressure building, everything. And that is because they are witnessing trauma in front of their faces. And black people, we witnessed it so much in our community, so much in society. I mean, unfortunately, we can have a whole list of black people that have fallen victim to the streets, to white supremacist violence, and we've watched it. We've seen it on our social medias. But that article talked about that trauma and that anxiety building up inside of us from just watching something indirectly of conflict. And the situation with Megan Thee Stallion, it leads me to that. Because what we're witnessing, or what she possibly witnessed, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know everything that went on in that car or everything that went on in that situation with her and Tory and the others involved. So I can't speak to it in totality. But what she witnessed and what she experienced spiked anxiety within her, was traumatizing to the eyes, traumatizing to the body. And those low frequency people, they seem to always carry that for you. If you notice it, low frequency level people always carry a form of negativity that leads to your anxiety, leads to you being scared or fearful or anxiety ridden. It always comes to that. Because those people, they prey on people that live on high frequency levels. Now you look at a young gentleman there. I believe he's an award-winning musician. I believe he's written some songs, and I've listened to some Tory Lanez. And we'll get into Trey songs maybe a little later, maybe in another show. But I've listened to some of the music that Tory comes out with and some of the stuff, and I like some of the music that he's dropped. But that should tell you that somebody that talented, that has garnered a lot of press, a lot of praise. He's from Canada, by the way, but has garnered that much praise and respect musically, still feeling small enough to shoot a black woman, a stallion, if that. And not everybody is meant to be hanging around baddies, man. Let's just keep it honest. Let's just keep it simple. Not everybody can hang around baddies. Not everybody can get the dimes. Not everybody can get a hot one, a bad bitch. Not everybody's meant to. So what they do when they're around them, they act erratic. They feel like they have to impress. They feel like they have to show out. They feel threatened. They're fearful of that power. Tory Lanez was fearful of that power, ladies and gentlemen. He was fearful of Megan's energy because he couldn't handle it. She was too much of a woman. She was so much of a woman that she turned him cowardly. And even in his cowardly moments of virtually trying to kill her, she did not rat him out. She stood behind him. How did she stand behind him? She didn't talk to no police. She knew what the police could do to him. She knew what the police could do to her. She protected a weakling. Now, this ain't a podcast where I like to destroy or put down my brothers. I do not do that. This is a black man affirmation podcast. But I don't run from the issues that's going on in our community. I do not run from them. I go towards them and I diagnose them and we talk about them in great length. Comment, like, and subscribe, by the way. TrueStills50@gmail is the email. So send me an email. Shout out, if you will. But we do not run from those issues as black men. As strong, warrior class, built black men. Black men with morals, principles, decrees, things we live by, things we die for. Men of respect. We do not run from our problems. We do not run from the problems plaguing our community as black men. But what that young gentleman, Tory Lanez, did was not only reckless, not only stupid, it was cowardly. You, Tory Lanez, are a coward. You're a fucking coward. You need to say something. You need to come out. You need to talk. You need to say something, my man. Because everything that Megan is saying, everything that she said, that young girl saying, she seems like she was 100 solid, bro. She played it straight. You know what that tells me? You know what that tells me about her and why I respect her? Though I'm not a fan of the music, like I said. But you know what I respect about her? That she come from real men. Somebody taught her something. Somebody gave her morals, decrees, principles to live by. Oh yeah, she from the school. She from that school. Tory Lanez, you ain't from no school, nigga. You're not from there. You're not from here. You're a Canadian. But it don't matter where you from. It's about what you did. And that was a bitch-made move, bro. No lie, you need to get handled for that. And that's another thing. If we stay codified, we got to start handling these motherfuckers in our society that are destroying the black community. We got to start handling them ourselves. Not with the police, because them motherfuckers ain't about shit. But we got to handle them ourselves. Fuck the police. We got to handle this in our own community. In our own community. When you see brothers doing wrong, and not just doing wrong, when you see them being cowardly, when you see them being pussy, when you see them being suckers, my God, it is your duty, black man, to set that man straight. You must set him straight. You see, we got an influx of motherfuckers coming up now, and they don't believe that there aren't any repercussions for their actions, huh? Say what? I said we got motherfuckers that's coming up in here, and they think that there are no repercussions for their actions. Somehow neglecting the science of cause and effect. And that's sad. Because there is the science of, or the law of cause and effect. What you put out is what you'll get back. And we have a lot of brothers out here that are not operating on that good frequency level enough to understand cause and effect, not understanding repercussions for their actions. And honestly, can you blame them? When you have people out here that are preying in our community, your 6ix9ines and your Tory Lanez, your DJ academics that are acting, that are being allowed to act basically without any actions coming on to them, without the cause and effect laws taking place, without them being basically penalized for violating. And we got to get back to that, black people. We got to start penalizing people. We got to have penalties when you violate. And Tory Lanez shooting Megan Thee Stallion, that is a violation. That is an utter violation. That man needs not only to apologize, that man owes a lot more. And it's up to us brothers, man, to hold him accountable for his actions. Sisters, too. We got to hold sisters accountable, too. But that'll be another episode. But word, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of examples out here, bad examples of people basically operating without cause and effect. Without accountability. Whether it be a hit to their pocket or a hit to the chin. And that is the problem. There is no accountability. And black people, we have allowed people to come into our community and act with impunity. So how do we expect Tory Lanez and 6ix9ines and academics that come into our community as leeches and prey into our community and prey on our community? How do we expect them to pay when we haven't killed Zimmerman yet? What? Say what? When we haven't made race soldiers pay for their grave mistakes. Penalties. 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 We owe it to our community to uphold it and protect it. Not just in speaking out, but acting up. We must hold these cowards accountable. Black people, that is my podcast for today. That is my message for today. Like I said, it ain't about Black Lives Matter. It's about Black power.